to do is to ask you to join me in raising our voices for her to know that we want to help her. So that's what I want you to do. To raise your voices and speak and let the Electoral Commission and all those involved in these decisions in Ghana know that it is an important right that you want to exercise as Ghanaians. A case is in the High Court of Ghana today, where some people have diasporic Ghanaians have brought an action to compel her to implement the law because they consider the absence of implementation is a denial of their rights as Ghanaians. So the case is before the High Court, and I heard yesterday, on Friday, the High Court has made an order from the Electoral Commission to bring evidence before the court because they claim they are making efforts to implement the law. To bring evidence before the court to show what steps they are taking to implement the law. It's an important decision that the High Court judge in Accra has made, and we'll let us see what will be the end of it. But whatever be the case, there's never any substitute for public advocacy of rights. And that is something we can do to help us in the exercise. The review of the dual citizenship law is overdue. The dual citizenship law was passed, I believe, in the Parliament, the 1996-2000 Parliament, and 16, 17 years have gone past since then. The time is due for us to look at it again and decide for us how we go forward on that matter. The abolition of visa requirements for Ghanaian dual citizens. The foreign ministers here, and as well as the issues about the consular fees. I think I'm going to leave it to her to say it. As far as matters involving the use of the expertise of all of you in the diaspora, we're very concerned about it. I made a pledge that if, by the grace of God, I won, I will establish a diaspora office every presidency. Well, that pledge has been renewed. There is, as we speak now, a diaspora office at the presidency, headed by there are two main people running it. One is a resident of England, who's back, is working in the castle now, in the presidency now. And the second is his assistant is a North American resident, Nadia, from Canada. She's there. The foreign ministers also helped. The bureau of the foreign ministry that was dealing with diaspora affairs, she's collapsed it so that Osiababu and Nadia can have full control over the business. So that unit is there to be able to liaise with you and deal with the issues that you have. What they're doing, the biggest thing they're doing initially, is to organize the Homecoming Summit. The Homecoming Summit is due in early July. I believe it's the 8th and 9th of July. And you're all invited. Those of you who want to come, I hope you've already indicated that, fill the forms, etc. That will allow you to be able to participate in the Homecoming Summit. The idea of the Homecoming Summit is exactly that, to find a mechanism, to agree on mechanisms whereby your input can be fed directly into the development of our nation. It's extremely important. All these countries that have had large overseas populations have drawn on these populations to help the development of their countries at home. Ghana, we should be no different. We have so much to offer the development of Ghana, and we have to find a way of being able to match you with skills, with expertise, with the requirements of home. And that is going to be the main purpose of the Homecoming Summit. The proposal, as far as the involvement in the one district, one factory idea is concerned, Mr. President, I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
Waiting for your proposal. cornerstone of our policy to get our economy going and being able to create jobs for our young people. So whatever input you have in the matter will be very welcome and it will be considered very seriously. I believe that the diaspora engagement policy, the homecoming summit, is going to be the proper place for you to unveil the policy and let it run. So, home, what's going on at home? A lot of things are going on at home. The two most important events that have occurred from the government and apart from the inauguration was the speech I gave to the Parliament on the message on the state of the nation in February. That one was to set out the parameters of governmental action, the vision that we have for the country, and how we were going to fulfill the promises that we made to the Ghanaian people which brought us to office. But concretely, the one very important concrete step that we have taken to shape government policy and response is the budget that was passed at the end of March. That budget was so well received in Ghana, a budget of a country that was in serious economic difficulties that we inherited from our predecessors, high debt, widespread unemployment, widespread levels of corruption, high interest rates,
GQmovies.com, life is home.
Failures of enterprises across the board. This is the picture that we inherited. They are not of my making. These were the realities of the time in Ghana. And yet, because of the skill and the quality of the people who are today in charge of economic management of the country, they produced a budget that has come to be described as the Asempa budget. The Asempa, the good news budget. That's the budget. The principal architect of that budget. Man, I've been really grateful to the Almighty that has given me such a man to work as the Minister of Finance in my government. Brilliant banker, one of the pioneer investment bankers in our country, has now decided to do public service, leave the big money aside and work as a minister on small pay. Is here with us today. Can we a very difficult state of affairs of our public finances. It's been able to do several important initiatives. The first is to say that the way forward for our country is to build a strong private sector. And if we're going to build a strong private sector, we have to give as much stimulants to the private sector as possible from the angle of government. So we have a stimulus package for distressed industries in our country, $100 million, able to jiggle with public finances to create a space, $100 million as a stimulus package for distressed industries. We have taken off over 1 billion cedis worth of revenue from the state has gone in taxes that we have abolished, all nuisance taxes that were only complicating and burdening private enterprise in Ghana, so that those monies that have been taken out of the public exchequer can stay with private enterprises and they can use it to invest and grow the economy of our country. At the same time, because we have the two main areas of our concentration, our industry and manufacturing sector, as well as our agricultural sector, we've also introduced a program we call Planting for Food and Jobs to revive our agriculture. There's been a systematic decline these last 4 or 5 years. So the whole program is anchored around 3 things. First, we've identified 200,000 farmers across the length and breadth of the country to be, if you like, the guinea pigs of the introduction of this policy, because we have millions of farmers in Ghana. We have to begin somewhere. If the program works, then we can then broaden it and broaden it and broaden it. And hopefully, the objective